there's a line in there where he says, why are you doing this? And I say to him, as Tim said, because God's children are not for sale. They're not for sale. You can't do it anymore, Satan. And we're coming after you. And I'm not afraid, and I'd ask you all not to be afraid either.
Hello friends, welcome once again to the YouTube channel. Okay, we're gonna make another video about the sound of freedom. There's a lot going on, and I'm realizing there's just too much going on at these different movie theaters. That is telling me something is happening here. Is this normal? Does this happen for every other movie? Why all of a sudden we're having all these issues? Is it possible that these TikTokers are just recording their experience? They've never recorded anything prior to. Is there something spiritual behind this? Is it really that Hollywood is looking to either sabotage or either block this movie from being seen by the populace? There's a number of questions that I have. I don't necessarily know. We look at a number of videos today from TikToks, and then I'll share my thought and perspective at the end. Let's take a listen.
And I was like super curious, so I came to see it, and the lights didn't turn off for the first 10 minutes. And also there was like a voiceover, like a narrator for blind people.
In a bathroom, Tim regards himself in a mirror. He splashes water on his face. In daylight, Tim enters the sunny foyer of a home. A young girl throws her arms around him. A blonde woman approaches. At a table, Tim sits with the girl and 4 boys.
Okay, everybody, come on.
Wow. So they can't fix that? I mean, we saw the movie the first night it came out with our family. We didn't have any of these issues. That's just crazy.
Bring your place down. We're gonna be late. Let's go. Come on.
The children leave. The woman sits with Tim. Without looking, he puts his hand on the table.
That must be difficult to watch. I mean, the people... What a glitch. The people there are not blind. What's the point of this?
Are you okay? He meets her gaze. In an office, Tim faces the closed blinds of a window. He puts his hands on his hips. Behind him, a balding man at a desk, Bryant, eyes him.
Come on, Tim. What's going on?
Tim looks over his shoulder.
If people come out and complain, it's not our fault. We have to get this situated so that everybody can feel accommodated, and then we'll restart the movie, okay?
Restart the movie?
Wow.
Hold on.
So we're standing in line with all these other people in the movie theater. We're getting refunds for the Sound of Freedom because apparently the water...
No, despite what's happening, people are still going out to watch this movie. Recent article in the Washington Examiner, it said that Sound of Freedom expected to break 100 million in gross receipts in a second box office weekend. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Wow. That is mind-blowing, because for a small budgeted type of movie, nobody expected it to be this good. Nobody expected it to do this well. And that's what's mind-blowing about this. All right, let's keep going. TikTok are not done talking to us.
Pressure and the bathrooms aren't working here, so no one can watch the movie tonight.
There were other people in here, and now they're all gone.
Wow.
And the radio's playing over the movie. Lights are still on.
What are the odds?
Radio is still playing, but they restarted the movie.
That looks intentional.
Sounds off again.
Trying to watch the movie in Sound of Freedom here at the local theater. And apparently they are having issues with the screen showing. Only this theater is having issues. Well, strange. Are you serious? Like, what is going on here?
Look at this.
My tinfoil hat to be called either a conspiracy theorist or some sort, but that is rare. That is weird. That is disturbing. I don't necessarily understand how all of a sudden all this is happening for a particular movie. Now, does that happen for any other movie? Do we have that on record of any sort? I'm sure things do go wrong. I mean, this is the real world. Things happen. But the fact this is happening all over the place, though, and we have so many recordings of it, is like something's wrong here.
When they're about to save the children, it literally, this alarm just starts going off.
Wow.
Oh my God, the glitches. Okay, now we're just sitting in an empty
45 minutes later, and now we'll just
with nothing playing. Oh my God.
With our projector, we had to wait for it to download the movie. It's gonna be about 30 minutes. Everyone in here is gonna get a free film pass.
Is he serious?
If you want to leave, that's understandable. I'll go do a refund. I can help you. But for now, we're gonna have to wait for the movie to download.
Did you change it to another theater?
I don't think so. This is the only one that has it for tonight.
So how do we get the free pass?
You can just come to us and the concessions or the gelato.
This is crazy.
If you want to leave, we can help you. If you want to refund, we can pass and do everything. It's gonna have to wait for 30 minutes.
Is this a common thing?
Can we get the free pass after the movie?
Yes, you can get it after the movie. Yes. After everybody here get a free pass, even if you're not leaving or if you get a refund, I don't care.
Okay. Wow, that's kind of good.
The film was glitching, then shut down. Didn't go into the theater all year, and this has never happened. It finally was played. There's something definitely going on. If you haven't gone to see this film yet, definitely go.
Go. I'll say the same.
No se permiten hombres en la
Yeah,
cocina.
that was a tough one.
Pero la recogida a las 7 p.m. En punto.
Yeah, if you ever seen that movie, if you go see that movie, you should know this scene right here. That woman is wicked, man. She's wicked. Very mischievous, man.
More as to why this movie in particular is not playing, and are you having issues in other theaters, or is it just The Sound of Freedom?
So, I'm pretty sure it's 12 that it was overheating in that room. So
it's just this theater you're having an issue playing movies in right now?
Yes, it's this auditorium.
Okay, no surprise there. Thank you.
Wow. Sheesh. Sound of Freedom. No sound. Imagine that. They're all working on it. That is crazy. I know. Listen, man. This makes no sense.
So I personally went to go see the movie yesterday, and lo and behold, there was no AC in our theater. And although I'd seen videos about it on TikTok, I was extremely shocked. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, so I walked out of the theater and went to 4 other theater rooms, and they were all working with AC, like a literal icebox. Wow. I would also like to include that obviously I don't have a large following by any means, but I just felt very compelled to post something about this because I actually could not believe it. I did address the manager. I'll insert like a small clip about it. They're just being very vague, can't really give you any answers as to why it's not working, and it's just BS.
So if we come and see it tomorrow and you guys move it into a different theater, there'll be AC?
Go ahead and just ask for the manager. I'm not sure. I don't know the schedule as of
You're the manager.
Guys, this is weird.
Yes, my GM is the one who does the schedule.
Okay, then I'm going to be coming back every single day until this movie is out of your theaters, until that there's AC in one of the rooms. Thank you.
Please ignore my shaky voice in that. I'm really nervous, and I hate
It must be tough working in the theaters at this stage of the world.
confrontation like that, but point is, go see this movie.
Definitely. I will. Yeah, great video. Link in the description below. This is Nathan H83, so go show him some love and respect for the work. Yeah, this is strange, guys. I mean, I want to hear from your perspective and thoughts, but how likely was the likelihood of this happening? in just about every, not just all theaters, but in many different theaters. Even if it was happening in 3 different theaters, that's still too many. And the fact it's happening with one movie, that's very questionable. You know, I don't like to lean with the conspiracy theory notion that Hollywood, somebody's out to either sabotage the movie or some sort, or blocking it from being seen by the masses. But it does feel that way, though. I mean, what are we supposed to think? I mean, it's strange. So, I mean, it could be several things. It's either they're really messing up with the movie. They are either putting viruses in the computer. They are really messing things up. Or these is just one of those freak things that tends to happen. One of those accidents that just, happen, chances, life happens, right? We can go with that notion, like it's just Big Bang Theory, right? So it just happened. It came out of nowhere all at the same time in one movie. I don't really believe that one very much, because I don't seem to hear too much of that for any other movies. But here's the thing. Maybe those TikTokers are just recording their experience regarding Sound of Freedom, while they may have had other negative experience with other movies, but did not record them and speaking about them, sharing them online. That's also true. You know what I'm saying? So things might happen in movies. I've been going to movies for a while. I don't go too often. If I go with intentionality. We're trying to watch something either for the kids or something like Sound of Freedom. I've never had any issue. I'm 38 years old. We never had any issue at the movie theater. That is weird. That is rare. Or you can behave like the Christians would, right? You can behave like I think sometime, which doesn't always mean it's a fact, but it must be considered. Maybe because of the nature of the movie and the message within, maybe the devil is not happy. Maybe Satan is looking to either confuse or block. Maybe this is a spiritual attack. I know for those of you who are irreligious, right? The unchurched, the unbelievers, I get you. You're going to say, this religious nonsense is whatever. But there's some things you cannot explain with your scientific discoveries and understanding. Your human mind is not always good enough to explain every single disaster or trouble that goes in this world. There is something supernatural behind many things that's going on in our world. Now, if what's going on with Sound of Freedom is just another freak accident, could be. Hollywood is either sabotaging this thing, could also be true. Or these TikTokers are just recording videos all over the place because they just want to put a thought out there and regarding the movie, even though maybe it's not that big of a deal in the first place. Well, I think you're crazy if you believe that. But option number 4 is believing that maybe this is a spiritual move. Maybe the devil doesn't want us to know about this. Maybe because this movie exposes either the wickedness of the prince of darkness. Maybe it's because there are many names behind the scene that the enemy does not want us to know about. Maybe this movie is really getting this level of attention because Satan is angry. That's a possibility. But while this is happening, what I love the most is the fact that people are still going to watch it. This movie is making so much more money, even than Indiana Jones, which has somewhat over $300 million in production funds. That is ridiculously crazy comparing to Sound of Freedom with 14 million and yet doing exceptionally well. Mind blowing. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm entitled to my own opinion, though. Here is something I'm going to share with you. All right. For those of you who are not spiritual, who always think everything is happening because it's just happening, because life happens. Everything is just, we have to be supposed to explain everything. I think there's some things we cannot explain in this world. And I think it's okay and it's safe to say, hey, is this the work of the devil or what? So what? Let's ask the question. First of all, know this for certain is that we are engaged in a spiritual warfare. All right. And I think every now and then we press the right buttons that gets the devil's attention. It really does happen. Look at this. The Bible says when the dragon saw that he was cast out onto the earth and he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. Oh, we can go so deep with that. All right. Satan having been thrown out. Who did he go after? The woman. Well, woman here in a sense represents who? The church. In essence, Satan is mad with the church. But I want to show you something. It went on to say that he actually is so mad because he knows that his time is short. There it is. Therefore rejoice ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them, and woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come unto you, is come unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So I wonder, is Satan angry and mad because his system is being exposed? That's a possibility. All right. It must be considered. Now, I know that a lot of time we like to say, it can't be true. That doesn't change the fact it is true. The Bible says he's coming down unto you and he has great wrath. In other words, he's unhappy. He is furious. He is mad. He is mean. He is out to devour. That's why in the book of Peter, it tells you that he walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Let me get that text for you quickly. It will take me just about a second. This is somewhere in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. There you go. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. That's a possibility as well. And this is the reason why in Ephesians, and I'm giving you one more text and we are done. In Ephesians chapter 6, Paul tells us that we got to put on the whole armor of God. Maybe we are wrestling against these Hollywood's elitists and these individuals who are part of the system, who are messing with children and so on. Get it? Got it? Some strange things happen in this world, right? Jeffrey Epstein's situation is kind of like, yeah, no cameras working. Yeah. You know, everything just fell apart. The likelihood of that happening is just weird, but hey, you know, you're not supposed to question that narrative. You're supposed to believe that Jeffrey Epstein canceled himself. Straight. Let's go with that. Okay. Or we can say there's something shady going on behind the scene that we're not supposed to know about. That's also a possibility. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against what? Principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. What are we supposed to do as a result? Take on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, and having done all the what? To stand. So the whole armor of God we are called to put on that's the way you fight in the spiritual warfare. This stuff is not just happening. That which is in the physical oftentimes is a reflection of that which is spiritual. And oftentimes we will look at these things and we say, man, that's just weird. And they are trying to get us, and Hollywood and all that. And these people just don't want us to watch this movie. That could be true. But I think going after the people who work in these theaters are not the ones to blame for this, because things do happen. I don't think they are intentionally doing something bad, but maybe the devil is not happy. Just a thought. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. I will let you hear your perspective on that. Why do you think this is happening? Do you think it is because TikTokers are recording videos? Do you think it's because Hollywood is out to destroy this movie? Do you think it's just these strange things seems to happen all at the same time? Or do you think that maybe you're thinking as crazy as I'm thinking? Maybe Satan is not happy with this. Share your thought below in perspective. I want to hear from you. Maybe you have another option. I would like to hear what it is as well. Have a good one. Bye.